One of the most common pieces of career advice you might get early on in your career is find yourself a mentor. I remember being early on in my career and thinking, oh, okay, cool, that sounds like great advice. But how? Is there a mentorship tree? Do I need to fill out an online mentorship application? Or do I go to the mentorship depot, stand in line, and get assigned a mentor? The reality is, while it is beneficial to have a mentor, it is hard to go about identifying and getting one. But in today's video, I'm going to show you how to do just that. I'm going to talk to you about the benefits of doing it, how it might advance your career, and how you can go about identifying and engaging with a mentor. Let's go. Hi everybody, I'm Ben White with Ben Talks Talent. I've got 12 years experience in interviewing, hiring, and recruiting, and I'm passionate about using my experience to help you become the best candidate possible, maximize your career, and ultimately land your next job. But in today's video, I'm gonna talk about something a little bit different, but equally important, and that's identifying a mentor. It can be incredibly beneficial, but it's also not commonplace to know exactly how you go about doing that. But before we get into the video, do me a favor, if you are new here, please take 3 seconds, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit that notification bell. That way you never miss one of my videos that are all designed to help you. With that being said, let's get into the video. People with mentors end up being promoted faster, earn a higher salary, and are more satisfied with their career. That's not me saying that, that's actually Wendy Murphy. She's the associate professor at Babson College, and she's the author of the book, Strategic Relationships at Work. The reality is, finding yourself a great mentor is incredibly beneficial. It can accelerate your career, your growth, your earning potential, and ultimately your trajectory in whatever field you have chosen. But how do you go about finding a good mentor? In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to do just that. The first thing I'm gonna talk about is, what does a mentor actually do? Now, typically a mentor is somebody who is just maybe a step or two ahead in your career. A lot of people, when they think mentors, they go, you know what? If I could be mentored by the CEO of blank company, that would surely help my career. That is very true, but how realistic is that? More often than not, if you're looking to find a mentor, it can't just be who would help me, but who's achievable, who's realistic. And somebody 1 to 2 steps in front of you, maybe target 5 to 7 years, is actually someone who might be willing to be your mentor and provide you with valuable insight. So what do mentors do? Typically, mentors are an ongoing relationship where you're getting counsel from somebody who's ahead of you in your career. Again, targeting that 5 to 7, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but somebody who has been in the career longer, they're advanced in the roles that they occupy, and they're in the position to actually give you advice. These are typically ongoing relationships. So maybe it's once a month, you're meeting for coffee or virtual coffee, or it's someone you can send messages to and bounce information off of. That is what a mentor does. But their insight can be incredibly valuable. Someone who is 5 to 7 years ahead of you in their career can tell you, this is the most meaningful thing I did early in my career to help me get to that next step. Or here's how I would go about handling this. These are the type of things that a mentor can provide you, and that's the kind of relationship it is. It's an ongoing strategic guidance that can help you maximize the stage of the career you're in. I will also say that while some people have one mentor they maintain throughout the entirety of their career, it is also possible that that person shifts. And for one season, you have one mentor, but as you advance, maybe somebody else makes more sense as a mentor. Now, the first thing you need to do when it comes to getting a mentor is identify what it is you're hoping to gain, right? So if it is somebody who is going to help you switch careers, for example, then a mentor needs to be someone different than if it's just someone you want to give you advice on how to grow your career and accelerate your progress within a field. So identify what you want to gain, who you might think that could be, what advice you're hoping to get from them, and kind of make a mental picture of, okay, this is what I'm hoping to find. That way you can go about identifying that person. Now, step 2 is identifying who that person might be. Again, it's not going to be some executive in all likelihood. It's going to be someone 4 to 7 years ahead of you. So think about who that can be. Start to maybe identify people. Think about people in your network. The easiest way to do this, if you're going to say, okay, I need to start from scratch, is think about people in your community. Now, this could be coworkers, so someone who works for a company or worked for a previous company who's ahead of you. Maybe it's family friends, maybe it's college alumni, but these are the people. So what I would do is I would start thinking about what you want, and then I would start thinking about people who might be able to provide that to you. And then I'd write down a list of names, and I'd start getting the wheels going in my head about, okay, who is this person? Now, the next thing you know is actually asking them. So once you've gone through your list and you've identified, okay, I think this person would be a really great mentor to me. So there's gonna be two things, right? Maybe you know the person, or maybe you know someone who knows the person. If it is someone you know, then invite them to do coffee or a virtual coffee. Understanding that they don't have a ton of time, this person's probably busy, but if you can say something along the lines of, you know what? I would like to pick your brain on a specific issue I'm encountering at work. Would you happen to have 15 to 30 minutes for us to chat over the next couple of weeks? I'd love to get your insights. People like to help people, so posing it like that instead of saying, hi, will you be my mentor? Has a much better chance of succeeding. So remember, one of the steps here is to come with a specific ask. Now, if it's someone you don't know, what you can go about doing is reaching out to your common acquaintance and saying, hey, I don't know this person. However, I know that you're connected with them. I would love to pick their brain on a specific task or a specific thing I'm encountering at work. Because I don't know them, I would really appreciate it if you could maybe introduce us. Maybe this happens through LinkedIn, maybe it happens through an email, but people are typically willing to help you. So if you say, hey, you know this person, I could use their advice, would you please make an introduction? More often than not, as long as you have a good relationship with that person, they are going to do it. Now, the next step is about the messaging. And I said this a little bit in the previous step, but I wanted to reiterate here that you need to have a specific ask. If you just send a message like, hey, you seem to be doing a pretty good job, do you want to talk to me? That's so nebulous. If I was to receive a message like that, I don't know if I would know how to respond. But if someone said to me, hey, Ben, I've been watching some of your videos, or I've seen you online, and I'm really interested in honing my ability to do public speaking. I know you are busy, but I'd love to have 15 minutes virtually to kind of pick your brain about how I can go about developing my public speaking skills. I would go, sure. It is hard for me to turn that down, or whatever it is. So that was public speaking. You could also be talking about advancing your career, dealing with a boss, getting a promotion, negotiating salary, whatever it is. Have a specific ask so this person knows exactly what it is they are getting into. This way, if they're not the right person for you, they might self-identify. They might say, hey, Ben, I appreciate you reaching out. The reality is, I don't know if I'm the best person for this. However, I might know blank, and he might be the perfect person to advise you here. But if they do feel like they're the right person, they can at least opt into it and be like, yes, I can help you here. Let's have that conversation. Now, the next step is make it convenient for them, right? This person 5 to 7 years ahead of you, probably someone successful, you have to assume they're busy and they have a lot going on. So if you're going to ask them to meet with you, whether it be virtually or you go out to a Starbucks or something like that and connect, make it close to them. Make it close to their office, make it close to their home. Allow them to dictate the time. Say, when works for you, I can be flexible. If you go, hey, I'm available Friday morning and Monday afternoon, they might go, I've got meetings at those times and I can't make that work. But if you afford them flexibility and make it convenient for them and work around their schedule, they are much more likely to take that meeting with you. Now, my next step is once you've met with them, let them know how much it means to you, right? Let them know that you're benefiting. Thank them. They are likely busy. They are giving you advice, no benefit to them, but just for you. So let them know that you really appreciate their advice and them taking the time to meet with you. And then after you do what they've advised you, if they give you specific actions, reach back out to them and go, hey, I just want to let you know that after our meeting 2 weeks ago, I went out and specifically did the thing you told me to do, and man, it has worked wonders. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me. I have taken it, your advice, and actually put it into action, and I have benefited significantly. Thank you so much. The next thing you can do, repeat the process, right? Don't try to get them to committing, right? You don't have a meeting, you're having coffee, you ask them advice and go, also, by the way, would you happen to want to be my mentor for the next 15 to 25 years of my career? You don't want to do that. You want to allow it to happen organically. So do this, go through the motion, and then reach out maybe a month later and go, hey, I ran into an issue at work, and I remember how much your advice helped me previously. Would you be willing to meet me again for 15 to 20 minutes, have a coffee, and let me run something by you? If it went well, if you thanked them, if you let them know that you put into practice what they told you, they're most likely going to say yes. They were willing to meet with you initially, they'll probably be willing to meet with you again. So the strategy here, rinse and repeat. Do it again, let them know you were thankful, put it into practice, loop them in on the results, and let them know, hey, the thing you are doing, you are taking your time to do this, is making a meaningful impact on my life. Thank you. Now, finally, the last thing I want to talk about here is that you need to be ready for change. This person might be a really great mentor for you right now, but they get busy later, or they move, or they relocate, or perhaps they're not interested in later. And then you just got to find somebody else to be your mentor. Or maybe you can outgrow them as a mentee. Maybe you get to the point where you're now on the same level, you're doing the same thing, and you're seeking the advice of someone who is more advanced. You might need to identify somebody else and repeat the process. Or finally, you might get to the point where you want multiple mentors and you'd like to engage several different people, knowing that some of them naturally, organically will fall off. That's okay too. Just be ready for change. Just because this works one time doesn't mean you need to be bought into this person as your forever mentor. Things change, people change. There you have it. That is everything you need to know to go and find yourself a mentor. It is not a mentorship tree. It is not a mentorship store, and there is no form online. You have to make it happen yourself. Very few people are lucky enough to have someone step into their life and organically just become their mentor, like magic. Most people have to make it happen. And this is a blueprint to do so. Good luck in your next interview. You got this.